Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending this presentation. I am Jennifer Girón, the Acting Collections Manager of the Invertebrate Zoology Collection at the Museum of Texas Tech University. And I'm talking in this symposium today because of two reasons. One, I was the award winner for the Lacordaire Prize 2022, and I'm the new secretary for the Coleopteri Society. When I was invited to give this talk about my beetle projects for the past year, one phrase came to mind. If you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. And basically, the projects that got me to this presentation today fall more or less in these two categories. The first one, the reason why I got the Lacordaire Prize was because of the publication of one of the chapters of my dissertation with acidoserine water scavenger beetles. This work was done under the advisement of Dr. Andrew Short at the University of Kansas with his award, career award funded by the NSF. When we started this project, the subfamily contained about 300 described species distributed across the entire world. And this is a group that is very interesting from the biodiversity perspective. It is ecologically variable, so we have species that are fully aquatic, some from intermediate habitats like hygropetric areas, and we have also terrestrial species. Because of this ecological variability, there are a lot of convergent morphologies across the entire subfamily, which had led to a chaotic taxonomic classification. So to tackle all these problems, we published a reclassification of the whole subfamily based on molecular phylogeny. We provide summaries for the history of the subfamily and data about the ecology of the group and information about fossils, immature stages, and karyotypes that are available for the subfamily. We included a morphological review discussing the morphological features that allow you to make taxonomic identifications. We also provide diagnosis and images for all the 23 genera that are currently recognized within the subfamily, including a key to identify them, as well as a catalog for the 541 species that were described at the time when this paper was accepted. That catalog includes references and distributions for all the species. This work is available open access in Zookis, and it is the most comprehensive treatment of a subfamily of water scavengers beetles to date. Here is the link in case you want to take a look. So this particular work goes with the go alone and go fast. But during the development of this particular project, I also got involved working with colleagues across Latin America. And I realized that with only a little guidance, people can do amazing work. And because of that, I am now coordinating a couple of initiatives in this framework of working together and building community with beetle research in mind. One of those is the Grupo de Coleopterólogos de Colombia, where we are generating updated checklists of the beetles recorded from Colombia based on the literature. For these, we are creating Darwin Core formatted checklist datasets that we are sharing through GBIF. These particular checklists become the base for papers dealing with the state of knowledge of different groups of beetles in Colombia, and some of these papers are now in review. We also offer training in the basics of biodiversity informatics for researchers in Colombia. For these, they are learning what a Darwin core file is, how to fill out the fields, and how from a simple spreadsheet you can get a file that is shared broadly online and is citable so that it can also benefit other researchers. It has also generated collaborations not only from among colleagues in Colombia, but also with people overseas. If you are, so far we have about 41 families listed with the entire list of species completed. And if you want to learn more about our process and what we are doing, we have a website where you can find all our information, or you can also reach out by email. Another thing that has happened with these pandemic times is that I realized that since we are all doing very specific work in a very specific taxonomic group in a very specific region of the world, that comes with a sense of isolation. So we feel like even though we are doing things that are hopefully useful for the broad community, there is no system of support that you can count on. And we are all craving to break with that sense of isolation. That's why we created a website for weevil workers called curculionoidea.org that aims to continuate what used to be the newsletter called Curculio. This is a work that I've been developing with collaborating with Dr. Lourdes Chamorro at the USDA and the Smithsonian Institution. And one of the main sections of this newsletter is to highlight researchers that are working with specific weevil taxa in specific regions of the world. And they are telling their stories of how they came to study weevils. So I invite everyone to go read those. It's very interesting. We are also putting together a series of resources for people to use. One of them is a library of PDFs of weevil papers from a broad period of time. This is a folder that is it's privately shared, so you can request access to be able to see all of this content. We also have a section for methods, not only for collecting, but also for preparing specimens. Another section for chronicles from the field and a little information about logistics on how to visit certain places. This is all contributed by members of the community. We also have a section with important links that include checklists, regional keys, and photo galleries that are available online. These are also partly contributed by the community. So I invite everyone to go check those resources out. We have also done a couple of annual meetings. Both have been online and free for everyone to attend. We have had participants from all across the world, and the conferences have been multilingual. So people can speak in their own language and take advantage of translations when those are available. Next one will be in October 2023. So just keep an eye out for whenever we are calling for titles to be presented. Probably we are going to do that at the beginning of the fall next year. One of the other projects that I've been working on as more on the individual side is that I keep managing the Coleoptera anatomy ontology. For those that were not in attendance last year when I presented about this work, here is a link for the recording about it. What we have been doing this year is just to semantically annotate the matrix, the morphological matrix that Lawrence and collaborators published in 2011 for the phylogeny of the entire Coleoptera. We are doing this using Phenex, which is a tool developed by the Phenoscape team. And this is in collaboration with the Tarasov Lab in Helsinki. The idea is that this semantically annotated matrix is going to be used for testing logic-based phylogenetic methods. So we will keep you posted on the results of this. Lastly, as the newly elected secretary, I just wanted to say that I meant what I said in my blurb when I applied to be the secretary. I want the society to be truly international, diverse, inclusive, and open. And I must admit that when I joined the society in 2017, I felt like the society was just this tight group of secretive people that everything was mystery. And the more I got involved volunteering for the social media team, and then as a student counselor, I have seen more and more of what the society can do for beetle research and researchers. So I would like everyone to be able to see that, and everyone to be able to take part in different roles across the society, independent of where you are in the world. So just keep in touch. Let us know if you have ideas or things that you would like the society to help you with. With that, that's all I had to say for today. Thank you for watching.